All right, there we go. We are live. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Grade 8 Galaxy A32 BTN training launch. We have exciting news that today the Galaxy A32 will now be available to be activated on the Boost Transform network. And as amazing as that is, it's very important that you guys know how to process this activation. And that's what this call is all about. So we really appreciate you all being on this call. We appreciate you taking the steps in order to get better and be more efficient in your position, to be able to sell on this amazing network and give our customers the best experience possible. As you can see, our call is fully loaded. So if you do happen to get kicked off the call and can't get back due to connection reasons or anything else, we will be hosting this call again at 11 tomorrow. So you'll be able to join that. We're also recording this session, so we'll be able to share that link out with everybody. So again, if any of your team members or anybody is reaching out saying, hey, I can't get in this call, just let them know that's why. So tell them not to freak out. They're not doing anything wrong. They will definitely be able to see this content and also be available to the next call. And that would just give them some encouragement to make sure they're early to tomorrow's call, so that way they have a spot. Because as you know, the Grade 8, super famous in the Boost world, and everybody wants to be here. So you should be very proud of yourself for being a part of this call. All right, with that being said, I am very excited to announce that Matt Reams is running the call behind the scenes. He is going to be our slide expert. We also have Christopher Walton that's going to be presenting with myself, Zachary Bushon. And we're also having a few members of the Great Lakes team available to answer any questions you may have. Since this is such a large call and since it's only going to be 30 minutes, if you do have any questions, please just put those in the chat. If we're not able to answer them immediately, we'll definitely have some Q&A at the end. With that being said, if you're ready, Mr. Walton, take it away, sir.
Yep, let's roll. All right, Matt. So we have a jam-packed agenda, guys, in 30 minutes of time. So we're going to go through this much as fast as possible and efficiently as possible, and just walking you guys through the steps to get ready to sell the A32 and how to process it. And there's going to be some time at the end of the call again for any questions and answers that we can do for you guys. So Matt, let's go on to the next one. So with the A32 promotion, this is our first Boost device that we are able to activate on the BTN network. And with that, guys, really highlight all the great features and capabilities of this device to your customers. This is not only our first device, but it's a 5G device. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is to really lead with that 5G messaging and also really highlight the value that we're going to bring with this device to the BTN network. It's a $280 phone that we can then activate for new customers at a discounted price, bringing it down to $200. And if they are able to bring in their own number into our network, we can bring it down to them and give it to them for absolutely for free, which is an amazing value for our customers. And again, this is our first Boost device capable of being activated on the BTN network. So what we want to see from our field teams are you guys leading with this device. As you're qualifying your customers and you see this phone meets their needs, please lead with the A32 and lead with it on the BTN network. We want to see as many of these devices on that network as soon as possible so we can continue to roll out more new great features on that network. So you guys are crucial in getting this out to our customers and getting their feedback so we can keep on adding more features and functionality to our new and improved Transform network, guys. So with that, again, this is a $280 device, discounted to $200 for new customers, for new number, and free for ports. And Ryan Way, if you don't mind, correct me if I'm wrong, last I heard, we didn't have the ability to port in from Cricket and AT&T. Could you just help out and let me know if that is still the case today for the launch?
Yeah, no, good news. We did get that resolved. So those ports are now able to be ported in successfully as well.
That is excellent news. Thanks, Ryan. So that means we are opening the floodgates to anybody and everybody can come in here. So that's really great news. Let's go ahead, Matt, into the next one. So with that, the A32, there are some steps that we need to take in order to prepare the device to be activated on the Transform network. So the first thing you guys are going to want to do is perform a software update for the device. It's going to download a maintenance release that's going to open the device up to be able to be activated on the Transform network. So the way we want to go about doing this is open the device. You can leave the plastic on there. I know we have some customers who are really, they like to be the ones that kind of rip the plastic off their phones as they get it. It's their new device. So you can leave that on. Go ahead and take the SIM popper and open up the SIM tray and then then turn on the device. When we do that, then you guys are going to be able to connect the device to Wi-Fi after going through the setup wizard. You got to go through all of that, skip the settings, go right to Wi-Fi, hook up to your network, and then go into the software updates and download that. This can take about 5 to 10 minutes to download the software. So we recommend getting in early, going through your devices and update about half of them before you open the doors to customers. That way you have a good amount of phones prepped and ready to be activated on the BTN network, and will allow your customers the best possible experience having their phone ready for them when they need it. Once the phone goes through and downloads the software, it's going to automatically reboot and then install that software. Once that happens, please power off the device and then put it back into the box. Best practice is to then attach a black SIM to the device so you know that that phone is ready to be activated on the Transform network. Good news is, as well, is that when you do this software update, this will not prevent you from still selling the A32 unexpanded if there is a customer who has that device and wants it on the expanded network. So it is not necessarily locking it to the Boost Transform network, but it can go both ways now, which is fantastic. Last little note to highlight on here is do not insert the black SIM until after you have completed the sales process and that device is activated and has a phone number. Once that happens, then go ahead and pop that BTN SIM and pop into the phone, and they're going to be on our new Transform network. With that, Matt, let's go to the next slide, and I'm going to pass it back to you, Zach, so you can kind of walk them through the process.
All right, perfect, Chris. Matt's going to go ahead and get that presentation ready now because it's a little bit different of a platform. I am hoping that one of our team members will be able to share this link as well. Brian Way is shaking his head yes, so he is on it. He is going to be able to provide this link. This is an interactive training link that you're going to be able to use it yourself in store, so you can get really comfortable with this process even after the call. Also, there is a step-by-step, like front to end video that our amazing training team has created. It's about 6 minutes long, and it's super worth your time watching it. So one thing I do want to call out as we're going to walk through this process, one thing that we would recommend before even going to this step is if you are activating a A32 for a customer and it's going to be a port-in transaction, we encourage that you go to the sales portal first and check the PIC eligibility tool. The reason why is the tool that we're going to show you here is going to check and see if the number is eligible to come to us, but it's not going to check and see if they're eligible for the discounts yet. That is going to be coming in the near future, but as of now, the only way to verify that the customer qualifies for that free A32 is to go through the original sales portal PIC eligibility tool. So please make sure that's the first step you do. Customer comes in, hey, how can I help you? I want to port over, I want the A32, all of that. First thing, log into sales portal, put in that number in the PIC eligibility tool. If it's good to go, then go to the steps we're about to walk you through right now. All right, with that being said, the first step we do after we log into the web platform is we're going to click Guided Sales Flow. We go ahead and click that. And obviously, this is only available for new customers at the moment. So we'll always be clicking new customers for now. So go ahead and click New Customer. We verify that they're over the age of 13. Hit Continue. Now we're going to put in their zip code and check availability. This is just checking to make sure they have service in their area. Here we're putting port in, and then we're going to put in the customer's phone number. And again, this is just calling out how to go to that port in eligibility tool, again, that you're going to find in the sales portal. I know you guys all know how to do this, but just want to give you a quick refresher. You put it in there, you search, it says it's eligible for port in credit. Then you can go ahead and, like we said, go to that Elevate web platform and proceed with the activation. So now we'll check eligibility. From there, we're going to scan that IMEI into the system and hit search. It's going to verify that that device is compatible with the network and it's eligible to be activated. Then this is where we're going to put in the black SIM. The ICC ID goes first, the UPC goes second. Hit Continue. Now you'll see the device has appeared. It has the setup fee and it also has applicable taxes. Now we'll go ahead and hit Select Plans. And we're going to select the plan. There's only the 50 and 60 available for right now. Remember, the 50 is the same as usual. 60 does not come with K-Health or HD streaming, but does come with Toto Mexico. So go ahead and hit Add Accessories. If you have any accessories, you can add them there. In this scenario, we're not going to have that. But this is going to give you kind of a pre-quote. It's going to show you the phone. It's going to show you the plan, taxes, and everything. Obviously, in this scenario, customer is getting a better deal than that. So this is just giving them the SRP pricing. So this is something worth calling out to say, hey, the price you're supposed to be paying today is almost $400, but we're going to work some crazy discounts for you. Just hang tight. We're going to give you an amazing deal. And then now we proceed to go ahead and put the customer's info in. Make sure you are using a real email address, because if you do not, customer will not get proper communication. So very important, we're using an email address, and if they don't have one, take a minute to help create one for them. Then go ahead and proceed to address. Make sure this is an actual address. Put all of that in, and then go to the next step. In this scenario, we're not putting an address, but we will highly encourage you to do that in your actual transaction. Then you're gonna put in the PIN code. Normal rules for the PIN code, 4 digits, can't be 4 consecutive numbers, all that good stuff. Now, as you'll see, this is the part that's a little different. You are gonna put in the account number and PIN code here. So very important that you put the right account number. Also, we'll call this out later, but no dashes or any special characters in account numbers. So after everything looks right, hit continue. If for some reason something doesn't look right, if you hit that little arrow on the right-hand side, you can actually drop it down and edit it accordingly. So just something to remember. And now we're gonna go ahead and hit add to cart. And as you can see, everything's been preloaded to your cart. So what we would really encourage you to do is verify that everything in the cart matches up to what it should look like. You know, you have the plan, you have the setup, you have the taxes, you have the phone, you have everything. Once you can verify that everything looks great, we're gonna go ahead and select coupons, because obviously they don't have to pay SRP in this scenario. So now you're gonna look for the coupon that's gonna be applicable for them. If it was a port in, you would hit the port in. If it's new act, you'd hit the new act. And that's gonna give you the proper discounting. Then you go ahead and select that, as Matt has done here. And after he goes ahead and selects that, it takes that price of that phone from the incredible price of $279.99 to free 50 free. It has dropped all the way down to free. At that point, you're going to go ahead and click request approval. Now, this is a step that I really want you guys to pay attention to, because this is way different than anything we've ever done before. Right now, as this is loading, we want to make sure that nobody is doing anything wrong that's going to affect the company or themselves significant amount of dollars. So you do have to get the approval of a manager to override that coupon. So what happens is, after you hit a request for approval, you're going to have a drop down of managers that are available to request the approval. We encourage that you select the manager that is obviously working at that time. So you would select your manager. After you do that, it's going to send them an email asking them to approve it. The manager is going to open up that email and give you approval. I would encourage that you just call your manager real fast, obviously if they're not in the store with you, and say, hey, I need you to approve this for me real quick. As soon as they approve it, you will get approval right back. It's a very quick turnaround. And at that point, you will now have the discount. Everything's going to look great. Now, one thing I do want to call out real quick, so just pump the brakes for 1 second, Matt, is that it makes sure that you have the right roles assigned for your managers. So if you don't have any managers assigned in this role, make sure that that's something you're doing immediately, because you're going to need this access going forward. All right, that being said, let's go to the next step, Matt. And now we're going to click make a payment. What's really awesome about this system is, until you make a payment, nothing's been activated. So there's none of that, oops, I accidentally sent an activation through and I didn't get the payment, customer's card got denied, what do I do? That's not going to be a thing anymore, because until you take the payment, nothing has been activated. But after you've taken the payment, the activation will be processed. So we'll click cash. In this scenario, we'll put in the amount for that device as we hit exact. And as you can see, it turned green and it said activation submitted. Now you have the chance to print that receipt and complete the transaction. After you complete the transaction, you'll be reverted back to that original page. You will click the bag on the left-hand side. It'll be the third icon down. After you select that, you're going to see all your recent transactions. Obviously, this will be your most recent, so you'll click the top one. And then from there, you're going to see your full receipt of everything that's listed. Now, what you'll see on the left-hand side is a phone number and name as well. That's been blurred out, obviously, for safety reasons. But then as far as status, as you can see here, it says pending. That's what you're going to see right away. But if you click refresh status, in about 30 seconds to a minute, we're seeing, obviously port ends might take a little bit longer, but once you hit refresh and it's turned to activated, you'll see that refresh button has turned into a submit ePay button. You will need to select that button in order to finish the process. After you select it, what's really awesome with this system is it preloads the customer's phone number for you, so you don't have to enter that in manually, and it will pre-select the plan that you have selected. Then you'll hit complete transaction. After you hit complete transaction, you'll hit it one more time, and there's no more loading the POS. It automatically loads for you. Now you would hit OK, and you have successfully completed your first A32 activation on the Boost Transform network. It's that simple, guys. So obviously we've taught you how to do BYOD recently. So it's almost the exact same process. The only thing is the coupon and the manager request is about the only thing that's different. Now, one thing I didn't call out, and I think it's very important that I do call out, is managers. When you receive this alert that you need to approve this transaction, very important that you just go ahead and check that number through the PIC eligibility tool again. It doesn't hurt anything to double check. Even Santa Claus does it himself, doesn't he? Checks his list twice. So be like Santa Claus, check it twice, make sure everything looks good. If everything does look good, then obviously give the approval, let your rep know everything's good to go, and then you can proceed from there. I know I went through that rather quick in the essence of time. The good news is that as you'll see in the Google chat, you'll be able to go through that training exercise yourself. Also, as your account executives are visiting you, they're going to give you this link so you can practice if for some reason you missed it. And then this video as well is very helpful, so we encourage that you watch that as you have some downtime. Next slide, Matthew. All right. So we talked about how to do it. Chris talked about the promotions. He talked about how to make sure your devices are up to date and ready to go. So most importantly, how do we talk about it, guys? Like, we got to sell it first before we start activating it. We got to make sure this is what the customer wants, no? So let's hear your sales pitch. So anybody have the guts to come off of mute and give me a good sales pitch real quick? We don't need a ton, just one lovely volunteer.
For that Tyler 6.
Say that again. What are you volunteering for?
What would be your pitch? How would you pitch this to a customer?
Hey, nice to meet you. I see you're getting a single line today. Would you like to get one of our best phones on the 5G network with our best coverage in the nation? And go from there.
That was fantastic. I loved it. So that was a great scenario. We highlighted the fact that it's 5G. We highlighted its amazing device, and it's our best network available. So you hit all the three things that we want to hit while offering this. So that's exactly it. So as you'll see, the pitch doesn't have to be the same for everybody, but here's just a couple examples of what that can look like. When you switch to Boost, we can hook you up with the Galaxy A32 that normally costs $280 for absolutely free today. This phone has a huge screen and it's 5G enabled, and we'll put it on our new Transform 5G network to get you the best coverage possible. Or based on what you told me, let's get you into our new 5G network. If you have an active number to switch, it's about $80 out the door for the 5G Samsung A32 with a huge screen, including first month and setup. Or if they're getting a new number, if you want one of our best 5G devices on our 5G network, I'd recommend this Samsung Galaxy A32, which is on sale for only $200 right now. So a 5G phone for $200, incredible pricing, plus it's a Galaxy. And obviously, if they're porting, it's the best price of all, free. So a lot of ways that you can pitch this, guys. Make sure that you practice it. Us AEs will come around and help you practice that. We'll make you feel awkward and do role plays like we love to do. But we encourage you to be prepared for that yourself, because it's something we can't emphasize enough. All A32s on single lines we want to see on this new network going forward. So please, please, please make sure your pitch is good. Make sure you understand the process, and make sure you are ready to go. With that being said, I think I've been talking enough. I think it's time for Mr. Wallen to take it away, sir.
Yep. So just some things that we can do to make sure that we are fully prepared for this launch and setting you guys up for the success in the field, and also your customers up for a really good experience in the stores, is first and foremost, please make sure you get all those phones updated before the customers come into the store. Okay. We're recommending about half of your A32 inventory. That way you have them ready and available to sell immediately once the customers come in and they're ready for that device. Also, this is for the owners out there and district managers. Please make sure that your manager permissions are set up properly in Elevate. If you need any help with that, please call the Elevate team. They are very quick to respond and help you guys get the right people, the right permissions right away. It's really important that they're ready to check their emails, double check the port and credit, and then approve it so that way the customer has that really seamless experience in your stores. Also, again, Zach called us out through the sales flow process. Make sure that as we're porting the numbers, we do not use any dashes or spaces or anything like that in the area where we're inputting the customer's account numbers from their previous carrier. Only alphanumeric digits in that space, please. Also, again, this is super important. Make sure that we are checking the port and credit tool first in the quick links on the sales portal before we do any ports. That's going to, again, help you guys find out which customers are eligible to port in back to Boost and receive that great discount in the A32 for free. Managers, again, when you receive that email, if you're near a computer, please double check. Make sure that your people are selling the phones and giving the customers the right prices as you can. And as always, as you're waiting for your AE to come into the store, guys, please hop into the sales portal right now, go to the quick links and go to the Boost Transform Network resources where you can find all this great information at your fingertips, and be prepared for when your AE comes to the stores to visit you with any questions you might have at that time, and we'll absolutely get you guys prepared and help you out right there. With that, Zach, I'll pass it right back to you for a little wrap up.
All right. Contest time. This is the I Understood the Assignment contest. For all of you TikTokers out there, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not a TikToker, I promise this isn't a condescending term. It's definitely a trend. So do yourself a favor, download TikTok, check it out. You'll know what I'm talking about shortly. But anywho, we want to make sure that you guys understood the assignment. You understood what was expected with the A32 being on every single line activation that we possibly can put the customer on. So we want to reward you guys for doing what we have requested you to do and pushing these initiatives, because that effort that you guys put in does not go unnoticed. And we really appreciate all that you guys do on the front lines. We know it's not easy sometimes with our customer base, but what's really cool is that we have an amazing offer with this amazing phone on this amazing network that's going to continue to get better and better. But as you guys are doing what we have requested, we want to give you some rewards. So as you see right now, this QR code, you can scan this right now. Take your phone out and scan that QR code if you can. If you do not have your phone with you or you're on it, I understand you'll not be able to do that. No worries. We're sending this into the chat right now. I saw Ryan Way just did. You can also select that link. And this is where you register any A32 activations on the Boost Transform Network. Anytime you put that in, you are going to be entered in to win some amazing prizes, and your account executive will be fulfilling those prizes for you. So very important, any that you sell starting today, make sure you put them into this Google shared file because we want to make sure that you guys are getting rewarded for all your hard efforts. So that being said, we have completed the presentation and in time. I am super impressed with us because I didn't think we would be able to get done in time. But with that being said, we got some time for some Q&A, and we will leave this open for as long as you guys would like to ask questions. So we've had a lot of messages in the chat. Obviously, you can continue to send them there, but if anybody doesn't want to put it in the chat or wants to come off of mute, feel free to do so now and ask your question.
All right.
Hey, I have a question.
Go ahead.
But my question is that, like, usually when customers switch from another carrier, most of the times their account numbers or PIN numbers are wrong. So in new Elevate, do we get a chance to change those account number and PIN numbers? Because in the old Elevate, we have a chance, like if the PIN number is wrong, they let us put it again. And if we call the port-in center to change them, sometimes we don't get the commissions for the phone. So that's why.
That's a great question. Anybody that's been a part of the test trial or anybody on the call know the answer to that? Because I have not.
Yeah, I have the answer to that. If you call the porting department and just ask them to update the information, you as a dealer will still get paid the commission. But if the porting department cancels the entire request and resubmits it themselves, that's when the dealer does not get paid the commission. Or, from experience is what was told. But I've never had an issue when I called porting department and asked them to update the information I was updating. I would call them and say, hey, my name is this and that. I'm a dealer. I have a port in. I need you to update the account number on the request. They usually log in and update it.
Perfect.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but you can't call the porting department for this particular network. You have to call dealer care, Zach. So I'm not sure if we need to take that one back.
Sure.
I appreciate that. That's actually good food for thought. My question to you, my question to Boost is it only 5G devices that we're able to activate on the new network? Is that why it's the only the A32?
No, we're still able to activate non-5G devices as well, as far as like bring your own devices right now that are eligible on the eligibility list. But going forward, obviously we want to be able to launch as many devices on the 5G network as possible, but no, it's not strictly for 5G only.
So are we going to be getting new devices launched starting, this season or next season, maybe considering that, our old devices with Boost are not compatible with the new network?
Yeah, we don't have exact ETAs on anything, so we don't want to obviously give you false info, but a lot of things are coming. And as you can see, within 1 week, we went from not even being able to use this network to being able to use it, to not being able to use iPhones, to being able to use iPhones. And now a week later, we have our own device being able to go on it. So things are moving rather quickly. So I would say sooner than later, we will have a lot more devices available. But exact ETA, we'll keep you posted.
Okay, appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Keep asking questions, guys. Go ahead, come off mute or put them in the chat.
So
Good morning,
I do have
everyone.
a couple questions here. When are we going to be able to activate the devices with insurance? And then are the customers that we're activating now that are not able to get it going to be able to add that at a future date? I mean, right now we're giving them pretty much a $300 phone for free on a port-in with no protection.
Yeah, good call out. And please,
And
if
is that going to affect our attachment, considering the fact that we can't attach insurance to that? Is that going to affect our attachment rate? Is that going to be held against us as dealers that, hey, you're
no, so
actually we can
to your
add
question.
insurance, I think so.
So to answer your question, no, it's not going to be held against you. Those activations are going to be scrubbed from your, numbers as far as Boost Shield attachment rate and value-added services and all that. So that's not going to affect you in a negative way at all. Definitely, we're going to have value-added service in the future. We don't have an exact ETA yet, but that's something that I can almost guarantee that they're working hard on doing, because obviously value-add service is a very important thing for us here at Boost Mobile. So we want to continue to add those. So that's coming very soon. We just don't know the exact ETA. Hopefully it comes soon enough that we can attach it to those customers that are already on it. But to be honest, Alan, we really don't know at this time yet. But like I would say, I would call out, like I just said earlier, things are moving so quickly that I would be, I guess I would have to say that I feel comfortable that things are going to move rather quickly, so I can't guarantee, but I would say just stay tuned. We'll keep you posted. And as things are developing, we'll continue to let you know what's going on with it. One thing will say real quick before we go to our next question is I've talked to some people that had a little bit of concern of, hey, is this going to affect our, churn of customers? If customers don't have this protection, are they more likely to leave? Or if they don't have that? I will say that this network, as amazing as this network is, it's going to make up for a few of the things we're not able to add at the beginning. Because let's be honest, network is king. So when people have better coverage, they're more likely to stay, because they could have, a 3 for $90 plan with attachments and everything known to man, but if they're not getting good service, their likelihood of staying is very unlikely. On the contrary, even if they have like a 3-line deal, they're paying $50 per line, the coverage that they're getting with this new network, I believe they're much more likely to stay. So next question,
I have a question here.
Yeah.
Can we add insurance from outside? It's because like, for example, the phone is activated. We can just go to sales portal, open their account and add insurance there and then pay the bill. So that way it will be not future date and they can get the insurance right now. Can we do that?
I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Wade. Is that a possibility?
That's a good question, actually.
Can you repeat the question? I was answering a question in the chat. I apologize.
He asked if you're able to add insurance after the activation. This way, the customer can still have
From
insurance.
outside, like sales portal. So once the phone is activated, we just take their number and PIN, open the account, add insurance, and then pay the bill.
No, so yeah, at this time it will not be available to be added at all. And keep in mind, like if you try to look up a customer account in Sales Portal that's activated on AN, it's not going to pull anything up. So think of Elevate Web as its own separate sales portal. It's our own separate billing system for these activations, and we're still building out some existing customer capabilities at this time. So definitely recognize the challenges that presents from like a device protection standpoint, but that's where we're at today, and we'll certainly keep you posted on when Boost Shield and other enhancements are available on AN.
Another question, activations on the BTN network will not be available to see through the sales portal, will they?
Correct.
All right. What other questions?
Will they be accessible on the Boost Mobile website?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I'll have to check on the website. So there, in addition to this, we are launching a new Boost One app as well, which will be giving some more information to everyone out about that as well. And that's going to be a kind of like a version of like the My Boost app, right? And the Boost perks all built into one. And that's going to be specific for AN customers. So more to come on the Boost One app because that will be certainly available. But yeah, I'll have to follow up on the boostmobile.com. I have not tried that yet or been asked that question. So good question.
I was just asking to see in case customers asked to view their account.
Right.
I have a question for you guys. Considering that when we were using the T-Mobile network, we were data capped because everybody was sharing the T-Mobile network. Is there going to be any changes happening to the data cap once we're all switched to the new network? Is that going to, or are you guys going to stick with the 35 gig and 10 gig? Or at least for the unlimited, 50, is that going to stay where it's there? Is there any changes that you guys see coming to this?
Yeah, it's really hard to answer those questions into the future just in general, right? When will we get this or when that, just because, we don't have that information either. So,
right. Well, considering that you guys are the face of the company,
yeah.
You guys maybe can just try to push it or, you know what I mean? Just try to get the word out there to hire, people on the new network. You guys are key in that, we're on the sales floor, we experience this stuff firsthand, and you guys are a key to it, so we'd highly appreciate it.
Okay, quick question. Good
into
morning, everyone. When we do an add a line, or if we're porting in add a line, we also do that through the new Elevate, right?
There's no add line availability at this time. This is only single line activations on the new network.
Just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. Like I said, guys, I wouldn't get so hung up on what we don't have right now and be excited about what we do have with this network because a lot of things are going to continue to roll out. Like I said, in a week, we went from not having it to now having a device, now having, I don't even know how many, probably a couple hundred devices we can build BYOD. So things are moving quick. So the things that we want and that we're used to is going to be coming soon. But in order for us to move forward in this process, we need to do our part and put as many people on this network as possible that fit the criteria for this. So that way we can continue to show the power of this network and show the customer base we have and how important it is to move forward and adding these things that we're missing. So
I have one last question.
To do your part, please activate all these A32 single lines on this new network. That's what you can do to help expedite all of this.
I have one more question, bud. Are we able to convert existing A32 customers to the new network?
No, it's only new customer single line port-ins or new numbers.
What about Reacts?
No, definitely can't, unfortunately, at this time. Just BYODs that are eligible or brand new A32 boxes. And again, brand new customer, single line activations or port-ins.
Okay, my question here is that do my manager has to create a new manager login on the new Elevate, or we can still use the previous Elevate manager login? Because you told us the manager has to approve it, right?
Good news, I don't think the managers even need to do the email process. They should be able to select the coupon automatically.
Okay.
So, yeah, the coupon won't be email restricted. However, that puts more responsibility on the manager to make sure the PIC is correct and the information is correct.
Yep.
Sure,
But
sure.
again, if you're already a manager in Elevate, you're not going to need to be a manager. Like, you're not going to have to get the permissions in Elevate Web because it's all part of the same platform. So whatever permissions you have in one, you'll have in the other.
And keep in mind, I'm pretty sure they're talking about store managers, you guys, not district managers. So, and most of you guys, if you're in your own store, I'm pretty sure you guys are a manager.
Yep. It just depends on each organization. Some people would prefer to just go to their district. Some go to store managers. Some even go to owners. So it just depends on the dynamic of your own partnership. But yeah, absolutely. Good call. We have a couple hands raised. If you have your hand raised and you have a question, just come off mute.
Yeah, I had a quick question. So with it being, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. Got you there.
Just wanted to make sure. With it being, since this is a new line thing, is like Boost Up still part of that? So the people who come to us being as it's new, will that still start the whole 12-month process thing for them, or with, because I know there's no value added services or anything, but is that still a thing with the new one at the moment?
Yeah, we escalated that question yesterday and are still waiting to hear back on a final answer on, you know, what the parameters of like Boost Up will be for AN customers. So
okay, because I know it's a long-term thing, you know, the 12 months, but I just wasn't sure if it would start with them.
I do have some good news about that though. And it was, we got some updates about it on the internal team. So the one app that they can manage their account with will have coins, and every coin is worth a penny. And that penny can be spent on, you know, the cell phone bill or maybe even external gift cards. That's still being worked on. It's very similar to like a rewards app. So every time they pay their bill on the Boost One app for their Transform network, they're going to get coins. So hopefully we'll have a lot of Mario fans out there that join Boost Transform.
yeah, and speaking of that Boost One app, I did just get an answer back. So that will be the primary resource for customers to view their account because AN customers will not be able to view their accounts on boostmobile.com. So just want to follow up on that answer for you, Alan. So good question there.
Are we allowed to port in AT&T customers?
Yes. Just got news that we can do that now.
Yeah, there is a qualification there that Sarah put into the chat as well that sort of came in real time. So yes, we can port in AT&T Cricket, AT&T Prepaid, like all of those customers over on AN. There are certain ones just, you know, as we're launching this morning that are coming up as ineligible for some reason, in which case the process is to call dealer care, and then they'll work back with the team to, you know, make sure that goes through. So just want to get that out there as well, because Sarah put that in the chat. So appreciate it.
Thanks.
I had a question. Now that the A32 is set up for the port-in credit on the new network, if those Boost renewed iPhone devices that we get the port-in credit on the expanded network, if maybe now that we can get, because those come to us network unlocked and they've never been activated on Sprint, maybe they're an old T-Mobile phone or old AT&T phone, if we can possibly now get the port-in credit on those Boost renewed iPhone devices.
Yeah, so we're really hungry to get iPhones, you know, as part of this as well. As you know, with the bring your own device, there's currently like a workaround where you use that QR code to bring in like the carrier bundle manually. So we're pressing for that, but until that carrier bundle is automated, I think that's what we're waiting for before we fully launch like the renewed 8 onto BTN. So we're hungry for that for sure. Good call out.
Awesome. What other questions do we have, guys?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today? Yeah, I just have a quick question. So for the 832s, we can only activate the ones that SIM out, or we could do the ones on TN network long as we update the phone.
The latter, you said. Yep. As long as you update the firmware of the A32s, even the ones you've had in stock for weeks, as long as you pull those out of the box, do the firmware update as Mr. Walton showed us earlier. You'll be able to use those on this new network.
And you can do the firmware update after you sell it. Just keep in mind that may increase the transaction time. So, you don't have to do it before you sell it. That just gives a better customer experience.
Yep.
Okay. And then one more question too about the request code. That's only if the sales rep don't got the permission to. What's that about? I kind of was missing that.
You got manager override permissions.
Yeah.
So, you got you're as an administrator, so you can override prices.
Wow.
I got everybody set up.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're a manager, so you won't need to do the email. But if you had sales reps underneath you, they would email you for the permission.
Oh. Okay. Thank you.
Good questions, guys. Keep them rolling if we got them. Going once. Going twice. All right. I think we have answered all of our questions. If you do have some questions that you weren't able to come off of mute or get into the chat, don't worry. We'll have another one of these calls at 11 a.m. tomorrow, so feel free to come back. Also, we will be sending out this recording shortly to any of your team members that have missed this. But thank you all for being a part of this call. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for selling every one of your single line port-in customers on this A32 or new customer lines on this A32. We appreciate all you guys do. Thank you to Christopher Wallen. Thank you to Matthew Reams. Thank you to Ryan Way. And thank you for all the amazing people in the Great Lakes that helped with the chat. Really appreciate you all. Anybody have any other words they'd like to share before we wrap up? Class dismissed. Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.